Welcome back to Recruiter Fuel. In episode 9, we're going to continue this discussion around the idea of the core 4. And last week we talked about the core 4 in terms of production, what you need out of the candidate. But today we're going to switch gears and we're going to focus more on what I call core 4 purpose, what the candidate needs from you to stay around and to convince them that they need to come to your organization. And we're going to continue to break it out into 4 sections just like we did under production. Number 1 under this idea of core 4 purpose is pain. What is the pain that the candidate is feeling now? What do they have today that they want to get rid of? They have a boss who's a real jerk and they want to get rid of that boss. That's the pain. But the number 2, just as important, is this idea of pleasure. What does the candidate have now that they want to keep? As recruiters, we focus on the pain, we exploit the pain. Same thing that sales reps do. But we've got to be able to understand both the pain and the pleasure of every candidate to balance those equally. And once we have those two, then it's this idea of pursuit. What does the candidate not have today that ultimately they want? So we're going from what do they have they want to get rid of, what do they have that they want to keep, and ultimately, what do they not have that they want to gain? And this is the pursuit. And the 4th and final one is a little bit more difficult. We've got to be careful what questions we ask, but it's this idea of personal. What's their personal situation? For example, yesterday I was talking to a candidate who has a special needs child at home, something she offered, but because of that, she's limited in the hours that she can work. That may take them out of running or put them in a better running for that particular role. But it's generally something that we can't do anything about. Maybe we can accommodate. But we've got to get all 4 of those in play. The last question is, how do you actually determine each of those? What are you trying to go for under this idea of pain, pleasure, pursuit, and personal? So there's 4 questions that you need to ask on top of each of those 4 items under the core 4. Number 1 is, what are the facts of the situation? What's the what that you've got to address? Number 2, why is that what so important? Number 3, when does that candidate anticipate doing something to deal with that particular item, whether it's a pain or a pleasure? And then number 4, how do they expect to deal with it? Understanding the core 4 of every candidate is absolutely critical to the success of every recruiter. Until next time.